Girl, I read everything and watched everything about line editing. I compiled all of the information to create the master plan on how you can line edit your book insanely fast, because I needed to line edit mine. So I was like, let's just compile everything, and I've created the master foolproof supersonic speed plan and how we are going to line edit our book super fast. Before I start this, I feel like I should just mention how the editing process actually works. You have 3 types of edits. So first you do the developmental edit, which I finished, which is you just change the actual story idea. So like, let's say you're writing a book and then you're like, I need to change the plot twist, let me change this character's character arc, let me insert background character 5. That is all part of the developmental edit. It's actually changing the story. Then line editing is more about the actual language itself. I'm going to be discussing line editing and copy editing. The way I'm going to do it is first developmental edit, which I've done, then line edit, which I'm doing, then copy edit. Both of them are very similar but different. Watch it and you'll understand. Then beta reading, then changing everything the beta said, then publish. Oh my gosh. Or if you're going to self-publish, get a professional editor, then publish. But yeah, you'll find out more as you watch. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the line edit / copy edit. So I'm going to do all of the line edits first, then I'll do all of the copy edits second in the master plan, because the master plan is like in chronological order, maximum efficiency, maximum productivity. Line editing is more subjective and it's based more on the flow and stylistic elements of the actual word. Copy editing is more mechanical and it's on like the technical accuracy, so grammar, spelling, punctuation. Here are some really good tips I'm going to use throughout the whole process. So instead of saying like, I see, just say what I'm seeing. What is a really good way is I can just, because my book is in Google Docs, I can type into the Google Docs I see and use their find tool. This will work on like any note-taking program, and then I'll be able to find everywhere in the entire book where I've written I and see, so I'm able to edit the manuscript and easily identify where they are. So that will save you in hours. Just have Grammarly, so Grammarly will already tell you most of the stuff anyways, so that will also just cut down on your time. Make sure you edit the work to the best of your ability, okay? If you're traditional in publishing, it will increase the likelihood of the publishers to publish your book. And if you're like, Ria, I'm self-publishing it, shut up. No, actually, you shut up, because if you are self-publishing and your manuscript is full of errors, then the editor can charge you £1 trillion. Whereas if you've already put an effort into editing it and make it the best you possibly can, then you will be securing the bag. So either alternative, you will be securing the bag. In the last 28 days, over 65% of you guys are not subscribed. Make sure you subscribe in order to join the Ria cult. First, we're going to start with category line editing. The first thing I'm going to tackle is the professional tone and prose. I'm going to rewrite everything to give it more of a professional, fancy tone, and also just to make it lenger. Not like purple prose where it's too extra and I'm like, what is even going on? But I like a bit of writing that's just artsy. The way I'm going to do this is I already have a Google document on my computer that's compiled of sentences I really like from other books, but I wrote it like ages ago. So I'm gonna add to it and just add a lot of really pretty sentences that I can find that I really like for inspiration. Obviously I'm not gonna, don't steal them, don't get sued. So what you can do is just make a Google document full of beautiful writing, or just pick up a book that you know has beautiful writing and read through it, and then you can just look at it whilst you're editing your own manuscript, right? Also just making the tone more professional. So if I'm just reading it and I'm like, this is giving 5-year-old, I will just change that. That's the first step of the master plan. The thing I'm going to tackle is consistency of character voice, okay? So when each character talks, they should have their own distinct voice. For example, if I was a character in my own book, I was like, Ria, why'd you say Riz every 10 seconds? So if every single character, oh my gosh, you know the Illuminae books, I was getting so annoyed when I read them. All of the characters kept on saying chum. Literally every single character called each other chum, even when they don't even know each other, because I know like I've infected a bunch of my friends and now they keep on saying slay and riz in every sentence when they didn't before. That's realistic. So what I could do with character voice is, as the novel goes on, other characters pick up other characters' speech traits and they're like, I hate that you've done this to me. I take this a step further in my novel by having the characters insult, and sometimes riz as a joke, each other in their own native language, right? So as the novel goes on, the characters are learning each other's native language insults and are using those insults on each other. So they're picking up that character's voice by picking up that character's native language, but only the insults. Because that's realistic. What is not realistic? All of the characters who haven't even met each other saying chum all the time when literally no one I know has ever said the word chum. Also, as I've written the book, my character voices have probably changed. They've probably gotten stronger. They've probably gained more personality to their voice. I can just read the last few chapters, then create a Google Doc and write down your character's common catchphrases or common idiosyncrasies they have within their speech. Write all that down. Then from the start, edit the character's voice. Also do the thing I said of making sure the characters pick up each other's traits and they're like, I hate this. Because your character needs to be unique. If you're like, Rhea, I literally don't know what to do. Think about real people you know in real life and how their voices differentiate from each other. Or think about characters you like, even in films, and think, how is their voice different? So maybe what I'll do is I'll just use the find tool on Google Docs, search a character's name, then I'll do it character by character, so then I'm able to just get it done faster and go through with it. So I will be eliminating the passive voice and also something called shallow POV. Shallow point of view is when you literally have a pencil and instead of saying there's a pencil, you're like, I see the pencil. It's very obvious you saw the pencil, because then how else would you know the pencil was there? Passive voice is just if the order is really cursed. For example, instead of Rhea is filming a video, you'd be like, the video is filmed by Rhea. Like, why? That order does not make any sense. So Rhea should come first, then the fact I am the one who's doing the filming, then the video. I'm just gonna go through and find every single example of this I can find. And what's also helpful is to just do the find tool and search I see, I hear. And with the ones that are like I see, I taste, etc., you can replace it with the 5 senses rather than just put I taste. We have weak words and vague descriptions. So for weak words, it can just be using a trash word, and I'm like, a better word could be used to convey what I'm saying, because this word is basic and this word is boring. For vague descriptions, if you're just saying that was a bag, it's not bringing your story to life. Be detailed. Don't go overboard with this and create an entire page about a blade of leaf, because who cares? But if it's detailed, the reader will be able to easily picture it in their mind and it will bring your story to life. So just add fun details, and they can actually make it cooler, because literally Brandon Sanderson says in every scene you just need to think, how can I make this cooler, by adding cool details. Pat Schneider has this quote that eats.
If I tell you my character has grey hair, you will not see her. If I tell you she has a tiny scar at the upper left corner of her lip from which protrudes one grey whisker, you'll make up the rest of her face with absolute clarity. If I tell you my character is waiting in a car, you won't be caught. But if I tell you he pushes his fingers down in the crack of the car seat where an ancient leather has pulled away from the seat frame and pulls up a small coin purse with a faded note in it, you will be mine.
Next will be to show, not to tell. Obviously, in some cases, telling is necessary, otherwise your book is going to be like 1,000,000 years long. There's probably some elements in your book where you need to be showing rather than telling. For example, if you're like, it was a sunny day, in reality you could have been like, sun gleamed off the leaf. Why don't I just do a like whole rupee core thing? But you get like sunlight gleamed off the leaf is so much better than it was a sunny day, because it was a sunny day literally tells me nothing and I'm like, I'm bored. Do you get what I'm saying? Or instead of like, he was sad, you can be like, tears spilled down his eyes. You see so many more feelings than just he was sad, I'm not gonna care. I'm gonna be like, no, stop being sad, idiot. Whereas with tears spilled down his eyes, I'm like, the tears spilled down his eyes, guys. The tears are not spilling down my eyes. Do you understand what I'm saying? Use your own brain. Think about what would be best for your own book. So everything I'm saying, there is obviously an exception. For example, people are like, the word obviously and the word literally are useless words, so edit them out. And that is correct. But what if your character voice, your character always goes obviously, 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 then keep it in and makes them sound more realistic and more human. Next, we are on to copy editing. So first, I'm just gonna look at grammar, punctuation, spelling, etc. Read over it a million times and try to identify the issues. Also, might try to paste some bits into like ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to be like, where are the grammatical issues? Where are the spelling issues? And also just literally letting Grammarly do the work for me anyways. Then the actual sentence, the structure of the sentence itself. For example, if I say bottle of water, it's more efficient if I say water bottle. Also, eliminate useless words like that I mentioned before, obviously with the exceptions. Look for continuity things, right? For example, if one character only has one hand, but then in a scene they're picking something up with two hands, you could be like, this is a continuity error, what the hell? So just keep your eye out for that, and also consistency with the whole thing. Is there like random tonal shifts that don't make sense? Keep that in your brain. Stay. Things like was, for example, the boat was tiny, you can literally just say tiny boat. With ing verbs, for example, she was singing, she sang, she sung, whatever. Then also keep an eye out for unnecessary discord markers. For example, if you look at the sentence, rapidly he ran, well obviously it's going to be rapid if he ran, because running fast. It's making the pacing more slow when that should be a fast-paced scene. Next, just adverbs that are useless. It's like the same thing with the discourse markers, because they're literally the same thing. Like for example, he yelled angrily. Wow, what is he meant to do? Yell happily? It's kind of self-explanatory, especially given the context. Obviously, because I know some writers are like, adverbs are evil, and then others are like, adverbs are nice. So honestly, just do what fits your work better. Think, is this actually benefiting the sentence? Is this benefiting my story? Is this benefiting the prose? And if it is, keep it. If it's not, eliminate. Then there's this thing I do personally where I just write and I take way too long and I'm like, a large quantity of, or a myriad of. Really could have just been like lots of. And it shortens it by so much. So just think about how you can shorten phrases. If you're just going on and on, you're like, why am I doing this? When I've actually started to line edit the book, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna consider how long is this taking me. Then I'm gonna open Google Sheets and actually put in the Google Sheets and schedule it out so I can figure out when I'm actually going to be finished editing my book. And hopefully we'll see how well it goes. If you guys want a vlog where I'll literally just vlog me line editing my book and while I'm actually doing it, because this is just the master plan, let me know and I will provide the goods. Hopefully you found this helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!